It's the last day for some people to chillax, but for us, we don't rest because we give you the best. So we go everywhere to make sure we give you just that best that you deserve every time and every day. Of course, today is the second day in the month of December 2022. If it's your first time here, well, my friends, call me Sweet MC, but my name is Jude. Ikami Jude, okay? And this is Matters. And the station is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Yeah. We dish you information, we give you more of education, and of course, we entertain you. That's why we are here. And of course, today is Friday. We've decided to go the way of education. Maybe I should call it entertainment right now, huh? Whichever one. Okay, please. I have a couple of persons in the studio, right? I have a couple of persons in the studio, and who I will be having a very robust discussion with. A very, very good one. And hey, you might want to find out who they are. Don't worry, you get to find out. Just relax, okay? I will be there, just the way you want it. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. First of all, I've got a man and a woman in the studio. You know, but in this side of the world, they say ladies first, women first, right? Do you concur with that, first of all? Oh, you do? You concur?
I do.
You do. I love that. But what about you? Don't you think it should be the man first? The leader of the home, the leader of the everywhere. I don't know. The leader of the world. What's your own opinion?
The man, the leader, but subject to the woman.
I love that. I love that. But let me keep my calm first. We'll talk more on that. All right, I've got first of all, I've got Mrs. Maureen Okoro in the studio. Mrs. Maureen Okoro is the director, Laureate Field Schools. So good to have you join us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so that very close to her is should I call him her second in command? Or someone who, you know, must be there when he's needed. He's Oputa Emmanuel Folusho. He is the principal of Laureate Field Schools, and they're just here in the studio with me so we can have a robust discussion. Beautiful afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to have you join us. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. We're streaming live, all right, on all of our social media platforms. Yeah, all of them. When I say all of them, I mean all of them. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. We're streaming live. Wherever you are in the world, you can watch what's happening in the studio. Is that beautiful? What we have here is mwah.
Good.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So wherever you are in the world, you can watch us live right now, and you can listen to us. If you want to do that, hey, pick up a phone and just type VOP 90.3 FM, whether on YouTube or any of the social media platforms. We're streaming live, so you can see what's happening in the studio. Or maybe it will be easier if you go to YouTube. YouTube. Just type VOP 90.3 FM. Or Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and you can watch us live. And when it's time for you to comment, you just go right there in the comment section and drop your own comment. Okay? Now, we're about to discuss something that resonates, something that is, that concerns almost everyone. Like almost everyone. You've got children, it concerns you. If you have some little kids around you, even if they are not your children, then you are concerned, okay? And that has to do with education in our country. Now, let me say this first of all. like a background. to what we're about to discuss. Education in Nigeria is overseen by the Federal Ministry of Education. The local authorities take responsibility for implementing state controlled policy regarding public education and state schools. The education system is divided into kindergarten, primary education, secondary education, and the one you call the tertiary education. Nigeria's federal government has been dominated by instability since declaring independence from Britain, and as a result, a unified set of education policies is yet to be successfully implemented. Regional differences in quality, curriculum, and funding characterized the education system in Nigeria. Yeah. Now, currently, Nigeria possesses the largest population of out of school learning youths in the world. It might shock you. The education system in the southern Nigeria is different from the northern part of Nigeria. Now, most northerners have memorized the Holy Quran and use that as their own education. The educational system in Nigeria is divided into the public, where a student only pays for the PTA levy, while the private, where students pay school fees and some other fees like sports, exam fees, computer fees, and so on and so forth. They are actually costly. Now, that is not where I'm going to. Now, the National Policy on Education, its legislative guidelines from the federal government that set standard, procedures, and implementation plans that ensure educational development and delivery of qualitative education in Nigeria. Now, the first national policy on education was published in 1977 then, but has been revised several times by successive stakeholders in the Federal Ministry of Education because of growing challenges in education delivery. The 2014 education, or rather edition, of the National Policy on Education stipulates that the federal government handles formal basic education, which is compulsory and free to all. The basic education covers now 1 year pre-primary education, 6 years of primary education, 3 years of junior secondary education. But today, we want to narrow this down to, pre-primary education, education for the kids, education for the young ones. Yeah, those below the age of 5 or even 10, thereabout. Yeah, below 10. Let's just talk about this set of people below 10 years old. Like, it means we won't talk about those from age 2 or 2 to 10. Exactly. And that brings us to the issue of Montessori school. Sometimes when you mention Montessori school, people don't understand. We're talking about gifts, talents, how to help children maximize what they have. But then, when you talk Montessori school, some people feel, what is that? The schools we attended is not like, but these days we have Montessori school, we have some other schools. Now, I want you to just break it down for me. What Montessori, the difference between Montessori school and all other kind of schools, in your own, your own understanding. Let us know, what is the difference between a Montessori school and other schools?
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you once again.
I want to start by saying that Montessori school, the concept of Montessori was founded by Maria Montessori. It was actually an idea based on how to help children that have learning challenges, children that are not as smart as others, who are considered to let me say have low IQ levels or challenged in one way or the other, that cannot really measure up with their peers. So these methods, she used some practical guidelines in helping these children to learn what they couldn't learn in ordinary classroom setup. Okay, so the first idea of Montessori is how to help children who are challenged. Later, it was applied to normal children. Okay, those ones that were really challenged were able to pick, they were able to flow, they were able to learn, and they were eventually able to measure up with their mates. So after that, it was like, okay, if this could work for people that are low, we can try it out with people that are good. You know, students that are the high flyers, the trailblazers, and all that. That was the origin of Montessori.
So it means is it, would you call that school for special children, or school that would help, you know, help children realize their gifts and talents?
Today, it is school for everybody, and it will help them realize their gifts, as you just
It's now
said.
school for everyone.
It is presently. As I said before, at the beginning, the concept was how to help children that are low in IQ level, children that are challenged, children that will not meet up. But eventually, it is being applied to everyone today. Yes.
Okay, so it means everyone should. What you're trying to say right now is that every child should attend a Montessori school.
Oh, yes.
So what about those ones that are not Montessori?
It's a choice. The choice of their parents and probably the learners.
Principal sir, don't you think are you, like, you heard what she said? Are you trying? Is she trying to say that it's only in Montessori schools that you see teachers teach in a certain way, some certain way of teaching children, and you cannot really find that in, you know, other schools?
The Montessori way is not the conventional way of teaching. You have special classes, you have special materials you use. The children coming in for Montessori, their age and IQ informs the material you use for them. You are exposing them to colors, to objects, to things first before learning. It's more like acquainting them with what education will be on the long run. But it has to be fun and play at the initial stage because they are tender. And most of them presently now are below the age of 2. Start having them from 1 year, 6 months. Parents, because of the nature of our work now, we want to drop them off as quick as. So where do they start from? Are you going to tell a 1-year-old to start calling alphabet, start calling numbers? No. You have to pick from Montessori learning. So that's why it's all inclusive now. Initially, it was supposed to be for children who are deficient, probably speech, then little deformity and stuff like that.
Okay.
But now we have every child from the age of 1 year and 6 months up to about 3. That's their formative year for education. That's the way it's being run now. It's different from the conventional learning. So any school doesn't have room for it. We'll just create something like nursery or pre-nursery. And then they'll go on learning with that.
Now, I'll come back to you
Okay.
to ask you the same question I want to ask Mr. Goro.
Okay.
Now, when you were growing up, I want us to break this down. Let's have a good discussion. When you were growing up, there was only like Montessori.
Yes, there was
No,
nothing like
no,
Montessori.
You were taught how to read and write, how to identify and stuff.
Yes.
Are you now saying that you weren't taught well because you didn't attend a Montessori school? I just want us to talk, right?
Well, we had what we could get. Our parents did their best for us, considering what was available then. I remember I had to sit on the floor, carrying my slate, writing with chalk, and a
Okay.
whole lot like that. We crammed, we crammed spellings. And if you miss a letter, you start from the beginning. There were no sounds. We were not taught sounds of alphabets. We were not taught how to sound and blend. We were just taught to scram spellings. So if you miss out a word, a letter, you are there. You just go back. You start from the beginning. It's very, very different from what we have today, where children are taught how to sound alphabets and how to blend them. And you see a child who has not met a particular word before, but because the child has been taught the sounds of various alphabets, the child can sound and blend correctly. Yes.
Okay. Now, that same question I would ask you. Would you say you weren't taught well because you did not attend a Montessori school?
Well, I wasn't taught well. I wouldn't say I was taught what was available.
Okay, which one?
I was given what was available then.
Okay.
We had to go through what we call preschool then. More like the Montessori. It wasn't official schools where your parents dump you there with other kids.
Gary School.
Lesson. Let's use the word lesson.
It's like the Akara School, right?
Otakara.
Jeliosimi, something like that.
Okay.
Let's have peace. Just go and drop them. Just take all the kids in the neighborhood, go and
Dump them
with
somewhere.
one mommy. We'll give them.
I love that. We want mommy.
We'll give them toys.
Oh God.
We'll bring out slate. Probably you'll learn fan A. The rest you are running up and down.
And some people are sleeping on.
And some people have slept off. So I think the evolution of education brought about Montessori. Everything about education is evolving. What was in vogue some years back is obsolete now. So I think what we got then was what was in vogue. Now what they are getting now is what is in vogue. In another 10, 15 years, Montessori might be from home.
Oh, really?
Yes. You just keep a child glued to the system and then it peaks. And the trend is there. The children of these days now drop your gadget and blink. They have done magic with it. So I'm looking at it in the next 10, 15 years, it will be from home. You just keep the child busy with one gadget and he start learning. And good enough, too many cartoons are there that are educative and the children learn from them. If you have any kid at home now, once you get home, they drag your phones with you, they drag your iPad. I want to watch my cartoon, I want to watch this, I want to watch that. You have seen that's a trend. We didn't have that growing up. They have that now. The next generation will get something better because of technology. We are not ruling that out. That's the way I'm saying it.
In addition to what you said, in China currently, they don't allow children to do anything up until age 5.
5, yes. Yes.
All they do is just stay there and watch, what's given to you. You just watch TV. They show you things. They show you a whole lot of things, and age 5. Or in this country, we'll get there. Just wait.
You said we'll get there. I pray we get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, I love it when you said in 10 years.
10, 15 years.
10, 15 years. I love that projection.
Because the way education is going now, we are applying more of technology than we have done in the past 5 years. I think COVID propelled it to the next level.
Yeah.
Virtually
exactly.
Every school now
I concur.
has a portal. Children do online, offline activities. down to nursery, primary school level. So if he can get to that level, parents can pick it up from home too.
Oh yes.
But then, if let me find out this. What would you then say would be the job of the parents? You know, if education is now brought to the house, starts from the home, then for us, we feel the parents should, their job is quite different. The role is different. One of the reasons why some parents will tell you, "Hey, let him just go to school," like you mentioned, is because they are too busy to want to take care of one child or the other. So, what then would now be the role of the parents?
The role of the parent will always be the role of the parent. Education starts from home. Education starts from home. Education is beyond learning curriculum. Starts with moral, spiritual, emotional, and then if the parents neglect this part, we won't have a total child.
But at what point would the parent now come in? Aside these things you mentioned, right? The home. What about education in the paper?
The parents will always come in as a background check. Once the child leaves and goes to school, school takes care of the child, the teachers start the development and formation of the child. Yours as a parent is to always assess and check how good, how far your child has gone. Is it going at the pace you went, or are they going beyond your own pace? There should be more of evaluation from home. Evaluation and assessment. Assessment should not be based on the scores of the child. Learning is beyond curriculum. You sit the child down, you ask questions outside the book. Is he interacting with the society? Is he conversant with what's happening around them? That is education. Not about curriculum. Curriculum will more of give him an edge when he's left in the society. But the real education is beyond curriculum. The child has to be emotionally stable. The child has to know how to relate with people. The child has to know when to speak, how to speak, what not to speak. That you won't learn in school. You'll just be told how to sound this, how to sound that, don't use this, don't use that. But it's at home you'll know why you don't do this, why you don't say this.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me come to you, madam. Isokoro.
Yes.
You're a mother,
Oh, yes.
right?
I am.
Now, I want to ask you, whose duty is it when it comes to education? Whose duty is it to educate a child? Is it those in school? Is it when you call the teachers, in school, or the parents? When it comes to education, whose duty is it actually to educate a child, as it were?
Education starts from home. The mother, the father, the teachers, when they get to school.
I asked you because I heard someone told me recently that now school now. Why they send her and go school now?
Probably the person needs to understand we have
You understand?
two classes of education. The informal education.
No.
and the formal.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that quickly, right? But I just want you to let me hear your thoughts.
Just as I said, education starts from home. Before ever the child gets to school, education has started already. When you're suckling the child, a baby that is still breastfeeding and bites the mom, and the mom taps the baby on the buttocks, that's education. You don't have to
The
bite
mother
me.
is talking now.
Just suck the milk.
From
You don't
experience.
have to bite me. That's what you've said. Okay. So that child will eventually start learning at that point. When that child is having issues with maybe a sibling, she or he doesn't have to bite the sibling. For maybe you're struggling over a toy. You don't make use of your teeth as a tool, or as a weapon to fight your sibling or to fight any other person. The mom has communicated that don't bite, just suck. Okay. And at home, when the child is maybe, let's say, 1 year old, and finishes eating biscuit and drops the wrap on the floor. You know, and the mother says, pick it up, drop it in the waste bin. Pick it up. And the child does that. Training has already started. Education has started from the home. By the time the child gets enrolled in any school, you find out that the child will naturally drop the biscuit wrap or wrapper into the waste bin in the school, inside the classroom. The mom has done the teaching.
Okay.
Education started from home. So there are so many things, so many aspects of learning that parents teach their children, not necessarily the school. And even when they start going to school, the parents are still there to monitor what they do.
All right. Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Check your time is 1 p.m. on the DOT. We go on a very, very short break, and when we come back, we talk more. Stay there and don't go nowhere.
Every day strike, national strike, market women strike, even color people they strike. We don't become control strikers.
Even like seven. Don't run from Allah. Even like seven. Get accident.
Why would they complain? Why would they complain? No would they collect bribe they vote to come back to share.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọtụtụ onye pụrụ iche ya. Anyị achọrọ ọtụtụ nchịkwa.
Ala na-eze nteme ka m na mụ na-asụ okwu. Wetin we want na make dem rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice. For all to rejoice. VOP 90.3. Voice of the people.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Yeah, we're talking education in Nigeria. Education, educating our children. You know, when you were educated child, you have succeeded in educating a community. It's just like when you plant a tree. How did they say that again? When you plant a tree, you've been able to save a generation, or how did they say? Was the way they say it actually? But then let's get talking. People, especially parents, keep faulting the Nigerian system of education, especially the curriculum. Many have argued that children offer too many subjects in school. People have said on different occasions that the subjects that they offer at school is really too much. I think some time ago I did a kind of an inquiry, a research. I went to schools and I discovered that some schools, some children at age 5 or 6 offer close to like 14 to 15 subjects in this country. And some people have been not too cool, with that fact that children of that age at that age offer too much. And I want to bring it to your own doorstep also. What do you think? Do you think is the best way to go? Do you think well, they can measure up? Some parents say she will learn, don't worry, she will measure up. What's your take on that?
At their level and age, it's foundational. They need to be exposed to virtually everything they can lay their hands on, because you are trying to develop the child, expose the mind, give him room for critical thinking and analysis. If the child is not exposed to a lot of this subject, the child will be myopic.
We're talking about 5 years old or 6 years old.
The subjects we are talking about here are subjects relevant to the development of the child. Virtually all of the subjects we have here are being modeled into subjects the child will do subsequently in college. But the foundational years are what will be treated in primary level. So, and the curriculum is so robust. What you learn in primary, you relearn in junior college, you relearn in senior college, but at different levels, higher levels. So if the foundational knowledge is not there, it begins to give the child a problem, gives the teachers problem once the child moves higher. The same mathematics that is being taught is the same mathematics that will be taught through life, but at different levels. What the curriculum will ask you to teach a year 7 child will be a bit different from what you teach a year 10 child. The same subject, the same topic. And if the year 10 child loses it at the year 7, then the foundation is faulty. He will find it difficult to understand it at year 10. So the same in primary level. What do they teach primary level? Mathematics, English, verbal, quantitative, and some of these entrepreneurial subjects.
15. But don't you think we could just compress?
When you compress now, a lot of things will have to come in place. When you compress the subject, you are going to compress the curriculum. It won't be elaborate again. The reason why these subjects are like that much is because the curriculum is being broken to make every child understand all those things in bits. I don't think you understand. You need to understand it in bits. By the time we compress, a lot of things will be yanked off the curriculum. Why? Because every curriculum is time bound. You have to teach within a term or within a year. And if we spread it, we can actually get to meet up.
Are you saying this because you're a principal, or you just feel it's the right thing?
I want to believe those who sat down and prepared the curriculum are thinking the way I'm thinking. Now in college, when me and you were in college, we had what was called integrated science. I think the school I went to was one of the foremost schools who broke integrated science into physics, chemistry, and biology. And it helped us understand it. Integrated science is broad. Now, we have basic science, we have basic technology, we have physical education, we have computer science from this same integrated science. Now, it's still one subject broken into 4, giving 4 teachers opportunity to teach and impact knowledge. Instead of allowing one person do the job, and the person will not do it thoroughly. Okay. But now that it's expanded into 4, the child should be able to get it more and get a broader view, a broader knowledge of what the subject entails. I want to believe that's why they broke the curriculum into some of the subjects. Why would I have social studies? I have civic education. I have security education. Because we want these children to understand some of these things better. The topics are interwoven. You'll do drugs in social studies, you'll do drugs in civic education, you'll do drugs in security education. You'll do adolescent, teenage vices. In all, the more you are taught this, the more it sticks. But if you are taught once, you just feel, I'm done with it. I won't need it in life. But the more the child hears it, we are trying to build up a total child here. And it's beyond teaching them once. They need to learn, relearn, unlearn, learn. The cycle is just like that.
Now, you were trying to build a total child. Now I understand that. But how has it helped us in this country? Let's get down to our country.
For
What
us
is
as a
happening
country,
now?
for us as a country, our model of education is more theoretical. Is not the visual. It is now that we are getting into the visual with the aid of technology. And as it is now, every child, every school who has the interest of the child will know how to spread the subject. I don't want to believe a child should do 10 subjects in a day, even if the timetable says you should have 10 subjects. It should be modeled in such a way you have about 6. You have double period for this, double period for that. You do entrepreneurial courses in between. That way, you get to learn all these 15, 14 subjects in 5 working days. 15 subjects in 5 working days. Let's say 3 periods per subject. It means you just do 5 subjects. You do the subject 5 times, or you do 3 times for 5 days. It doesn't take too much on the child. It doesn't mean the child has learnt more than is enough. The world is very vast. It's just that the model of education here wouldn't permit you streamlining the child right from the formative age. You don't have to place the child on this model. This is the path you're going. You want the child to be a medical doctor, you only expose him to scientific things, medical things. On the long run, it may not work here because of our society. We've had pharmacists who are bankers. How did they switch? Because our education is broad-based.
Don't you think, I'll come to you. He's touching somewhere I think we need to digest this thing very well. Don't you think we are not getting it right in Nigeria as regards education? Because this way we've been going has not been helping us, I feel. And some other persons listening to us right now, because when I get to open up the studio line, you hear people call. You hear their comments. And what you just said especially, because I've listened to parents who tell me, it's really not cool. A child goes to school, he offers like more than 10 subjects a day, and he comes home with assignments. Some you have to visit the internet to help the child answer the question. Some it's just this wahalasha. I don't understand. Now, I feel that we should emulate what is happening in China.
Okay.
All right, where you have to be a master to something. Master a particular art, a trade, something.
Yes.
That's why I feel our technical colleges, our schools are not really giving us what we want. Instead of getting to offer too many subjects, why not just narrow it down? Okay, look at this child. Maybe that's why I decided to start from this Montessori thing. You look at the child and you find out, okay, this is what this child can do.
Yes.
So let's just build this child in this way.
Based on that. Do we have the capacity as a nation to go that way? Capital N-O.
No, maybe we have, but our leaders are just not.
I don't want to talk about our leaders. I want to talk about what is on ground. The reality on ground now.
But they made the curriculum.
The curriculum.
The Ministry of Education.
The Ministry of Education made the curriculum based on the reality on ground.
That hasn't changed over time.
That's why I said in the next 10, 15 years, some of these things will be off academics. But what we have now is what we'll work with. How do you explain, even in the university level, you do courses that are not relevant to your course of study?
That's exactly where I'm going to.
And at the end of the day, these courses become relevant because they broaden your scope and your knowledge. It makes you fit in well into the society. I just cited the pharmacist who is a banker. What's the correlation? Because while studying pharmacy, he would have done a lot of electives here and there. He would have done more of economics, administration, and this. He gets out there, he can't get a job. The only job available is for him to be a banker. He writes the exam, he passes. Do you think those in the banking industry want to pick a pharmacist over somebody who studied banking and finance? No. But because he's showing he knows what he wants to do and he's going to bring something to the table, they give him the offer. The only thing they'll do is they'll train him for some months. And before you know it, the pharmacist is now a banker.
You see, in Nigeria, or okay, let me put it this way first. I believe we should understand where we're going to in this country, right?
Yes.
I think in China, they have is it China, one family, one product?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
In
And
Nigeria,
I think Japan too is emulating that too.
good. You produce. We don't produce in this country. We consume. Now, that's why I feel that we should help these children in a particular area. Don't stress my child learning what's it called? Government, for instance, or which other subject is that again?
Biology, physics.
All of these things. When you know that this guy wants to do computer science.
Nice. Okay.
So that's what I feel. But now,
That should be the norm.
oh, it should be the norm.
It
Now you
should
concur.
be the norm. I
Good.
concur definitely with you.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the reality on ground. Can we afford that as a nation now? No, we can't. We will move gradually into it.
Why do you think we cannot afford that?
Do we have specialized schools? Do we have specialized schools? I don't want to say yes. We don't. School, I think back in the years, I think 1992 or thereabouts, when my dad came back from Switzerland, he started contemplating taking us abroad to go and study there. And what was the motivation behind it? He said when he was there, he saw children our age coming to the engineering section where he was and doing engineering stuff with them. Why? That is what the child wanted. They had seen that from the Montessori level. This is the interest of the child. This is where his focus is. They started exposing them at that early age. Do we have that here? What we have is excursions here by the schools, taking these children to places where they should practically see some of these things,
On the norm.
where their interest lies. If I bring a child who wants to be a journalist here, he will want to stay here forever. And this should have started from the formative years. The child should be exposed to studios like this right from school. Every school should have a studio where the child will come, probably have a session once in a month, once in 2 weeks.
Some people feel I've seen a family who actually built a mini studio at home for their child.
Yeah. And give the child 4-5 years, the child becomes an in-house broadcaster. He goes to school, learns the basics, comes home, express himself. He has chosen a spot. Why? Because the parent can foot the bill. Can we foot the bill in this part of the world? No. Even government schools can't.
Let me hold you on. Let me talk to Mr. Goro, because you see, sometimes I love to take things from several perspectives, right? And you are a mother, so I always want to dwell on that whenever I'm talking to you or I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Are you okay with your child offering more than 10 or close to 15 subjects, or it's just because the Ministry of Education says that is what it should be, and so you've taken it to heart? Okay, well, we just do it the way we've been doing it. Which one?
Well, I view it this way. These subjects can be compressed into, let's say 5, if we
okay.
have 15. But then what we are trying to do is bring all the elements in the different 15 subjects and merge them together okay, into 5. That's what we're trying to do. And splitting them into 15 somehow enables more elements to be brought in. And as Mr. Puta rightly said, the children are given opportunity to have an idea of different subjects, different, things that made up some different aspects of life. I think I don't really have much problem with the curriculum.
Oh, really?
Yes, I don't. I don't really have much problem with the curriculum. What I think is that where the issue is of the curriculum by the educators, the teachers in the classroom picking up the topics in the scheme and bringing them down to day-to-day life activities, how you can apply those things, making the topics you're teaching real to the children, bringing them down to something you can apply. Let's teach the theory, okay, but bring the theory down to practical life. Bring it down close to what the child can see, what the child can touch, what the child can feel, what the child can experience, and they can relate to those things. If we do that to the activities, to the challenges that the children face, it will help them get into solution finding. They will be able to resolve issues based on what they are taught. You are taught quadratic equation. If you are employed to work, developed to face challenges, to surmount those challenges. From the preschool to the elementary classes and even in the secondary, all the classes have money as a topic, and are taught at different levels. You are introduced to what we use in Nigeria is Naira and Kobo and all that and all that. If you just teach it just on the theory level and leave it there, the children may not be able to apply that to day-to-day living. But if you make use of paper money, teach these children how to buy and sell right inside the classroom, how to get change. This child will be able to go and shop from home. Maybe the next shop, the next compound has a shop, will be able to get some things for the family and demand for his or her change. I remember when we had what we called Entrepreneurs Market Day. Our children were made to produce certain things, and some of them bought some things like market women do and have their own shops in the school. Their parents were the customers. We invited different parents.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, they came.
That's beautiful.
They were very excited to come and buy from their children's shop. Every one of them, most parents came and they bought different things. The classes had different things displayed. Some of them were selling foodstuff, ingredients, soup ingredients, and these are the prices that are selling them. These ones, what it means to be a trader, what it means to be an entrepreneur. This is my business. I bought this at this price and I'm going to sell it at this price and I will make my gain. Selling price for these products, I'm going to make my gain. Okay, so they've taught money. They've been taught money. And the money was translated into a real market setting. And they were able to sell, make gain. And the children were excited. Their parents were excited. We were really, really surprised at the turn up. Parents wanted to come and buy, and they did. Some people that came late could not see what to buy. But the children were the happiest. They felt big. They felt classroom can be brought to real life. If we do that, we will see that the curriculum that we are complaining about can actually be applied to our daily activities.
Thank you so much. But for me, I also want to throw this in that I believe in practical things. We should do more of practicals in school.
Exactly.
Just like you mentioned now.
Exactly.
And that's why I feel in China, for the fact that they watch TV for 5 years, for me, I feel is better. Now let's start. Let me take you back to a time where we used to have technical colleges in Nigeria. When a child is growing up, the next thing is not just to take the child to just any school. For me, technical schools are advanced Montessori schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
So you just know that this guy needs to go and start producing something, know how to use tools. And that will benefit the family, the community, the entire country. That's what China is doing, and we are not doing. Don't you think so?
Well, the child
Instead of these normal
to be exposed to numeracy, okay, sensorial, practical life, and all that. That child needs to learn how to read and write, to be able to keep records. You've learned how to make use of your tools. You have paid some money. You cannot keep records. You don't know whether you are making gain or not. You will just put it on your head, in your brain that, okay, I collected 100,000 from this person. You can't write it down. So you see, the children have to be taught. They have to go through schooling, proper schooling before they start branching out.
Okay.
Can I come in?
Please do. Please
You were mentioning technical schools. Will we be frank to ourselves?
Okay.
When we were growing up, was it your type or my type that went to technical schools? It was those who dropped out, those who don't pass. Their parents just went and dropped them there. Go and learn a skill. Go and learn how to build.
But some persons go there like directly to go learn.
Probably they picked the child from the village and they couldn't afford to put the child in a conventional school.
Are you sure?
That's the experience growing up. That's why the thing folded. If our likes were sent there from the beginning, we won't be here. We'll be talking production.
Don't you think life is now going that way again? Now?
That is where we are now. The private sector is trying to turn the table around. Private schools, private universities, they are going back into technicalities. The government school, tomorrow, not funded, underfunded, that's been the problem. But private schools, you pay for it, you get it done. We are talking about visual learning, where a child has to see, has to feel what is being taught. Who provide those facilities? The school. That's why it's a private school. So you hardly find a private school that won't have this visual learning aids. Now, most schools project. While you are teaching, you project it. The child sees it. What you see sticks faster than what you hear. What you hear, you may not be able to recap in total, but what you see, you'll be able to narrate it when you are even asked to write it. But government-funded schools, do we have that? No. And education is basically the prerogative of the government. If the government is not getting it right, the private sector is trying to push them to get it right.
Mr. Emmanuel, I want to ask you, would you want to put, between a private school and a government school, which one would you want your child to attend?
Was my dad then felt the private school then, when giving him what he wanted a total child. He wanted us to learn everything we needed to learn in class, outside of class. But then private school, then we were treated like sacred cows. Don't touch, don't do this. We were being pampered. My dad didn't want it. So he withdrew all of us and sent us to public school. We learned how to jump buses, how to fend for ourselves. I've never been to Yaba in my growing years, but I had to go write command entrance exam by myself. Went to Yaba, command the school, Yaba. I can't recall how I got there. But I also know he just told me the direction, take this bus, take this bus. I went. Those were the things that exposed us then as government school. But not now. We don't have those things now. Everybody I want my child to get the best. My children are attending private schools.
So what's wrong with government schools? Now, let's dissect these issues. What is actually wrong with our government schools?
Funding, funding, funding. Manpower is there. We have structures. We have buildings now. But the facilities are not there. Learning is beyond buildings. You need to have this audiovisual facilities that these children can relate with. You go to a government school, you have an arm of about 400 students. You have a library that has just 300 books. Can he accommodate that arm alone? No. You hardly find a laboratory that can accommodate that strength. So what would the teacher do? He will make do of what he has to do. He will teach you and teach you. Probably once in a year, you come to the lab to see those things. But in the private school, you can't learn without going to the laboratories. You just must go there every day or twice a week to see what you are being taught. Whatever is needed, the school head will make sure it's available, because the teachers will start pointing, sir, I'll be needing this for this topic, I'll be needing this in the course of the term, we'll be looking at this, we'll be looking at that. So yours is to make it available. So it is total learning. You won't have that privilege in a government school. I wish we could, but hold on. I went to a government university. A computer science lab had only one computer, and it's the secretary of the HOD that was using it. How do you explain that? That's why I'm not shouting. I don't know if that's still happening now. Oh, but you go to private schools, their computer room, you have desktops, you have laptops. The children use for portal assignment. You won't get that now. Why would students in a country as big as ours stay at home for 9 months? Public schools at home. Private schools were running. So how do we explain that? The same government officials, their children are graduating all over the globe. Why are they not in the same government schools? Because it's underfunded. We don't have to overflog it. We know it.
Okay. Now, Mr. Koro,
Yes,
in those days, some of us benefited from what we call free education. And that can only happen only in government school.
yes.
You can't get free education elsewhere if it's not a government school.
Yes,
Now-
you're right.
Are you now going to say that, like I asked the first question, you didn't get the best? You weren't taught well. You didn't get things you're supposed to get. You didn't get those, free access to things. And now you prefer to take your child to a private school. So it means that government school will continue to die. That's just a word, right?
No.
Or
No, it won't
you because okay, now if everyone says no to government schools and yes to private schools, what happens to government schools?
Everyone won't be
Well,
able
you
to
know
that.
what will happen now? What needs to be done is that the government has to do something about funding, about proper monitoring of the workforce.
That's what I wanted to ask. Is it monitoring or funding?
Funding
is
first.
there, monitoring is there. What gets supervised gets done. If you don't supervise people, they can have all the facilities, they can even sell the facilities, and we do nothing about it. They won't teach the children if they are not monitored. Okay, so what gets supervised gets done. There must be someone who ensures that the people, the teachers, and the rest of the workforce do what they're supposed to do. Proper monitoring. Very, very important. Someone has to be in charge. Someone has to take charge of when they come to school, what they do while they're in school, when they leave, and all that. How often do they come? Do they write their lesson notes? Do they plan? Do they really have teaching aids? Do they employ the ones that the government has provided for them? Monitoring, very, very key. You asked whether the government school should just die. No. But we have to do something to bring it back or bring them back to life. Something very, very
When you
drastic.
say we, what do you
We,
mean?
everyone. I don't want to exonerate myself from that. Okay? Everyone, the government, our leaders, and every one of us. If I am a teacher in any of the government schools, I should take it upon myself to justify the salary that I receive. So when I say we, I mean everyone. You are part of the workforce. You don't come to work, or you come by 10 o'clock. You give children notes to go and copy. You don't teach them. They just pass anyhow. I mean, everyone, all hands have to be on deck.
Okay. Now, you've been preaching the good news of private schools.
Okay.
I'm also aware that in private schools, children no longer fail. It's a taboo if you fail.
No.
School owners tell, you see, I'm a journalist, right? I go to places to get to find out what's really going on. I've listened to parents, I've listened to school owners and teachers and everyone. Some school owners will tell you, please, for the sake of A, B, C, don't fail any of them. Let them pass. They'll tell you, just let them pass. Because everyone wants a certain standard. Oh, my school is the best. Children don't fail. Everyone is a smart kid. We've got smart kids around and all of that. I noticed from my research that children no longer fail in private schools.
Not all schools. Not at all. Not
Madam,
in
are
Lawrence
you're saying this because you have a school and you want to exonerate yourself?
not,
Like,
not in Lawrence Field. In this academic session, this is first term. We have children that are repeating classes. We have some that were promoted on trial. I believe Mr. Oputa should be in a better position to say that. But before he comes in, I know a particular family in the primary school. They have a child in the secondary, just one in the secondary, and the others nursery primary. They withdrew 4 kids from our school. Why? This term, they withdrew 4 kids. One of them, the father insisted that the child must be given double promotion. Double promotion from nursery 1 to year 1, skipping.
oh, really?
And we said no.
Wow.
We tried to explain the implication of the action. He refused to agree with us. And we said, okay, now that it has come to this point, put it in writing. Sign an undertaking for us that you are the one giving your child double promotion, because this is against the ethics of our school. You know what he did? He withdrew the 4 of them, took them to another school. And we said, okay, that's okay by us, because we believe in building standard. The standard is very key. The standard is important.
Now, you were talking about your school,
Yes.
but I am talking generally. A general understanding. A general.
We have some schools.
But you've heard that before.
Oh,
Definitely,
yes.
definitely.
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
That,
You-
hey, don't feel them.
your
oh, let
research
them-
is spot on, but it doesn't apply to every school.
Yes. It's not 100%.
It's not every private school that you come and muzzle your way through. No. Our school, some schools that I know of, the grading system is beyond the conventional grading system. The conventional grading system is 40 marks or 40%, and you have passed. And that's why the educational standard
You get
is
a
dropping.
D.
Dropping drastically. I wept when I had the cutoff for JAM was reduced to 120, 140. I was like, in our days, you are fighting for a 250. We'll go to Ikoyi to register and check our result for JAM then. I got to Ikoyi to check my JAM score. I had 222. I was just standing staring at the board. I couldn't go home with 222 jam. That was my first jam ever. Somebody had to tap me, young man, go home. I said, to which home? With which mouth would I tell them I scored 222? I'm supposed to score 250 something and above. I can't go home. He had to take some of my friends to cajole me. I got home, I couldn't go to the house. I had to sleep over in a friend's house. It was the mom that went home to tell them he's not coming home because he got 222 in jump. He said he cannot face people. That was the educational standard. And now somebody is scoring 140 and he's getting admitted into the university. You see how much we have failed as a nation. So some schools are still taking it up. In our school, if you score 59.5, you have failed. You'll only get to do remedial or on trial classes from 55 to 59. But if you score less than that, you repeat. Parents are aware, they sign to it. So I have about 10 or 12 who are repeating now.
If a child keeps failing in your school for one reason or the other, don't you think that will like show?
If a child fails, before a child fails, we would have had sessions with the child. We will have school counselors. We'll have a one-on-one session. I want to know why you are doing poorly academically, because the parameters laid down should make you pass. As a student, you have your portal that is graded. If you attempt your portal assignment, you get scored for it. You write 2 continuous assessments in the course of the term. If you don't do well in one, you have an opportunity to do a second one. Your teachers will pick your best score. You have CBT exams, you have the theory exams. There's no way you won't score 60. Then part of your assessment is attendance. Teachers would score you for being in school, for attending classes. Being in school different, attending classes different. You get some points for that. So you can't be in school for a whole calendar year and score less than 60. For us, if you give us 85, we'll appreciate that's our A. Then if a child can give us 85 in school internally, that child will go out there and get the conventional 70 that is an A, conveniently without being aided. So for us, education is beyond learning. It has gone to knowing. You should be able to sit and defend whatever you have learned at any point in time, anywhere in time. So if you don't do well, I'm sorry, sir, I'm sorry, ma, your child has to repeat. That's the way I say it. And I'll give them reasons why this child has to repeat. It's better this child repeats and get it well than we pad this child and tomorrow becomes a concern to the society. And if truly you have the interest of the child at that, you know your child. You know the capability of your child. So if you are being told this is the way to go, you'll definitely want to abide with it. I have some children now, they're writing exams now. They have to upgrade their 55 to 59 grade to 60 plus. Once result comes out now, if they don't meet the 60 plus, they go back to repeat like those who are already repeating. The parents have signed an undertaking based on that. They know it. So all hands are on deck. Teachers are pushing, parents are pushing from home. Those who need to do extra classes are taking extra classes so that the child comes to speed. It's beyond going to class. You must know what you are doing. Your parents can't be paying for you to be educated and you take it for granted. We got it for free. We didn't take it for granted. Now that it's being paid for, you need to reciprocate by sitting down and reading, sitting down, learning, sitting down to know what you have learned. That is the way forward. We have schools like that who don't compromise standard. You feel.
Now, as part of standard, let me bring this to the director of the school. As part of standard that you mentioned, there is this influx of market women or market men to schools.
Okay.
What I mean is, everybody wants to be a teacher, become a teacher. Everyone is teaching. If you've been looking for a job for only God knows how many years, try teaching. They will give you. They're resisting. People don't feel, you've been job hunting, have you submitted? Try one school now. They're always looking for, and all of that. And our education actually is ebbing. It's ebbing away. Is going down drain. Is I don't know which other word to call it.
It's on a decline.
What would you say? Yeah. What would you say?
One of the things we do to ensure qualitative teaching in Laureate Field is employing qualified and experienced teachers.
Do you have NC in your school?
That's the lowest.
NC holders.
That's the lowest.
I think those are
And they're
nursery
going to
school
teach in the
teachers.
preschool. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, the lowest.
Why is it like that? At the time.
Okay, but we have people that have an education. So NCE is the lowest qualification to teach in any school in Nigeria. By standard. By standard.
By standard. I love it when you say by standard.
Yes.
Underlined.
Yes. So we go out for
But
qualified.
what about now? By standard. But what about now?
Okay, it depends on the school.
Huh?
It depends on the school owners. And
There are some
all that.
teachers they don't even know how to take care of children. They don't understand mood. They don't understand what are these things again? Can I remember them? They don't understand anything. They just bring maybe they're not actually happy on a certain day, and they just come from home to school, and every child is in trouble. You flog and make them feel like, hey, auntie, don't enter.
We are
You
taught
know.
as teachers that whatever that happens at home should not enter the school gate. If you quarreled with your husband or one of your children made you to be upset, as you get to the school gate, just drop it off. Enter the school smiling, enter the school a different person. Do the whole thing.
Okay.
Maybe you can pick it up at the gate when you are leaving. So if you are a trained teacher, and most teachers are psychologists by training, they do a lot of courses on psychology. You should be able to separate your family life from your work life. Okay, and when teachers are qualified, teachers are trained, teachers know what they're supposed to do, they have good relationship with their children. They will be able to create the enabling environment for the learners to do well. Because children that feel loved, feel wanted, do better than when you put them in, an atmosphere or an environment that is hostile. When they just look at the face of their teacher, they will be able to say, oh, my teacher is happy because he's smiling. Okay? And it can run into the arms of the teacher for some, and just get. Sometimes they even have problems at home. I mean, the children, the learners themselves. They come to school and they have listening ears. They have someone they can talk to. These are the teachers, of course. Okay? Because the atmosphere is there. The environment is enabling. So you're talking about market women or people who have looked for jobs and could not getting themselves into
Filling
the
up,
system. Well, it depends on where they apply to. Because if these ones are not groomed to teach, they may be good in other aspects. But if they are not trained teachers, you may not get what you want at the end of the day. So we go out for qualified and experienced hands. And when we get them, the first thing we do is train, retrain.
Oh, you do that?
Oh, yes. We don't joke with staff training. We believe that people can learn, unlearn, and relearn. So we train, we retrain, or we untrain and we retrain. We keep on training. Even people that have been there for the past 10 years are still going through training. But someone that is just entering, the first point is train the person, let the person understand what the school stands for. Let them understand, what we do and how we do it, and the person starts working and is still being monitoring. monitored, sorry, we'll keep on monitoring the person, and over time, the person keeps on joining other people that have been there in other trainings that they go through. So the training brings all of us together. We are able to say the same thing. We are able to represent the organization very well.
Now, Laureate Field Schools, you are the director and you are the principal. How do you ensure that your teachers are in a sound frame of mind to be able to teach, to be able to do the needful every day immediately they enter the gate? Because sometimes, like you rightly mentioned, when the teacher is all smiling, the children also would want to follow suit, like, hey, and all of that. And we humans, sometimes your mood can just go the other way, and you feel like, Mr. David, please, I don't want to. I'm not really. I'm not happy today. So how do you ensure? How do you mandate? Yeah,
you don't mandate. You don't give what you don't have. First
like,
thing is,
teachers, you must smile today.
No.
Teachers, you must.
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. The first thing to do to get a vibrant working workforce is to ensure their welfare is well taken care of. If a teacher's welfare is well taken care of, half of the job is done. If the teachers are happy in the organization, half of the job is done. So even when a teacher has a challenge, the teacher can walk openly to you. Sir, I need to speak with you now.
Okay.
Sir, this and this and this and this. Give a listening ear.
Okay.
Understand, feel, have empathy. Okay, I get this. This is how we'll go about it. Once it's too sure, my principal, my director will look into this for me. The job is done.
Okay.
The director is not on ground. They can pick the phone and call her. Hello, ma, this and this and this is the situation. This and this. The next thing you'll hear is, have you discussed with the principal? Yes. What did he say? He said this. Okay. We are in sync. So they may not have to even get to the director again. They all send a message, ma, I spoke with the principal. I discussed this and this is what he said. They get an okay. You won't tell me that kind of person won't be happy on the job?
You know I've been smiling.
I don't know.
Now I'll tell you.
Okay.
Let's talk about this welfare thing.
Okay.
See, I just want to be very plain, right? I'm smiling because you are seated with your director, right? The owner of the school. And you're talking about welfare. This is December. A whole lot of people, a whole lot of companies are actually giving out gifts to
Staffs, yes.
Food items, money, a whole lot. That's on one side. On the other side, salary structure. Some people feel that I don't want you to say some things that so you won't offend her because she's here.
No, I'll say
Right?
everything. Absolutely spot on.
You say, madam, you see, that one is for you. You upgrade this thing, upgrade this thing. but
We'll say it the way it is. I'm on there.
Okay. But then the issue of the salary structure. Some people will tell you that they are nowhere paid. I'm working more, but I'm earning less. I'm taking 2 subjects, and look at what I'm earning. Okay, I've stayed long in this school, and look at what I'm earning. Okay, I look at my certificate, look at my all of that,
My
and still
qualifications.
nothing. Qualifications, nothing. How can we place that? The way it is now in schools, people just feel, let them come now. You studied what? 35,000 naira. Mister, please give her 35. That's what we can pay. How do we place that?
For us.
Wait.
Okay.
I want to hear from the director. You are the owner of the school. How do you make sure the staff welfare is properly taken care of? From the salary to the take home stuff, like I mentioned this December. I don't know if you have the plan at all, to give them. If you don't have, please have it. But then answer my question first. Okay.
Okay. Well, there is this saying that if you pay peanuts, monkeys will work for you. If you pay peanuts, monkeys will work for you.
Okay.
So staff welfare is key.
So monkeys eat peanuts.
Oh yes, they do. or we are made to believe so.
Okay.
Because I don't know whether they actually.
Let's talk.
Okay, so as I was saying, the staff welfare is key. It's very key. By the grace of God, we do our best. I believe, some of us believe that our school is the best paid in terms of paying staff salary in our environment. I mean, and I remember when the school started in the year 2000, all the schools around us don't pay teachers during the holiday, the long vacation, August. The only thing they do is some of them, give them part of what they get from summer school.
Okay.
Then some people that pay 2 weeks after resumption, after school resumes in September, 2 weeks after resumption, to ensure that those teachers will stay and all that. Then you also see people coming to look for job and say, for the past 3 months, I've not been paid. I mean, you are working for 3 months, you are not
even
paid,
more,
and you are still going to work. I mean, sometimes I look at them as if they're spirits, because I wouldn't know what.
and you want them to give their all.
Yes, what they have been eating and how they have been doing it. Okay, so one thing that is a priority to us is staff welfare. We don't joke with their salaries. The salaries of the teachers are paid at the right time, and as much as possible, we pay what we consider reasonable within our, capacity for today, and we are hoping to improve and to do better tomorrow by the grace of God. And considering the Christmas package and all that, I think for several years we've been doing that. We do as much as we can by the grace of God. And we don't just tell them, bye, thank you. Okay, partly because I had an experience. I worked in a private school before. I became the director of Laureate Field Schools. And for all the years I worked there, I did not receive a penny or anything, nothing at all for Christmas. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's Christmas. Oh, see you in January. And we come back and we continue. Okay, so after going through such experience, I feel that, these ones that are here with me should not be treated the way I was treated. Okay, and I also see people that give their teachers or their workers something during Christmas, and I know that they were happy about it. It makes them happy, so I also want my own people to be happy. Yes.
Okay. It's you want to add to that? Let me now come back to you.
Exactly what you said. I wouldn't know how to express it. I wish staffs were here to express it themselves.
Are you not saying it because she's here?
No. I'm on it. They will tweet and then put up their questions too.
I remember you just said now that you have a Christmas package, right?
Oh yes.
What about journalists that you are talking to right now? Am I part of? Can I be included?
Oh yes, and I'm sure that Voice of the People has something for us too.
Oh, good.
Put it to me. Put it to me. I'll ensure you get.
Oh, really?
Christmas hamper.
Oh, I love that.
Now I'll ensure you get. Just
good.
put that to me. I'll be on the neck. You'll get. You'll get. Just give me the number of staffs, and then we'll see what we can do as a school.
90.3 FM. This is VOP. We go on a very, very short break. And when we come back, I know you want to say one thing or the other. You want to contribute to, what you've been listening to. But don't worry, you will do that, okay? Just right after now. We'll be right back. Stay there. And don't go nowhere at all.
want you down. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, Lagos.
Papa, mama, brother, sister, this Lagos must work for all of us. Everybody down for Eko.
Oh yes, Lagos people, papa, mama, sister, brother, auntie, plus including uncle them. Better don't land for Lagos State gidigba. Money will be for Lagos State, then go use them for Lagos State. Wella, no more baba sope. They no go chop Lagos State money. Nobody go pocket Lagos State. Then go take and build Lagos State, build road, build hospital, build houses, and now only one man fit do this job. His name na Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jando. He can't carry one obonge person as the deputy governor. Her name na Funke Akindele. My people, what do we dey wait for? Make we vote for light, vote for change. No be the kind change where they vote before. This one na the original change. How Amumu don't do? Pay they pay.
Everybody down for Eko.
Person we wan help you no go give you time wey take too much na sharparly go do am. Make person no go die before help go show face. Na now be the time when Naija go begin better. Na Labour Party be the saviour. May we join body vote Peter Obi o. Peter Obi straight for Aso Rock come 2023. Na him be the answer. Na him be the genuine man wey Nigeria need to do this work o. Make una no throw away una vote. The man with new idea. Na him get the genuity wey Nigeria need to go to next level. Peter Obi, the man with the charismatic charisma. Peter Obi, na him fit to do the job. Vote Peter Obi, vote Labour Party. Labour Party, forward ever. This one wey you hear so na from Chief Dr. Paul Ezenwa Akudo, CEO, Wugat Intercontinental Limited.
Some call it life adjustments, but our world has taken a different but dangerous look.
My husband does not just beat me up, but he uses an object to forcefully remove my finger right before my eyes. And he has hit me. The God of heaven. Oh, God to my rescue.
With happenings that are alien to the human race.
I was in prison for 39 years for a crime I did not commit.
Since I clocked the age of 9, I have always been raped by my father, and now I am 18, and I still battle with him.
Unthinkable, unimaginable, and very unfriendly acts have been recorded in every sphere of human existence. Join Jude Ikame Jude on Matters, weekdays, noon to 3 p.m. on VOP 90.3 FM. As he dissects and addresses these challenges called the new norm in our political, social, religious, and cultural space. But then, are you comfortable with this new norm? Be part of this conversation because your opinion matters.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Well, if you're just tuning in or if you're just joining us, I've been having a very great conversation with Mrs. Maureen Okoro, who is the director, Laureate Field Schools. And of course, she is here with his principal, or her principal rather, our principal Oputa Emmanuel Folusho. Yeah. And of course, we're talking education. We're talking education, but very soon I will get to open up the studio lines for you to also participate. All right, you talk, I talk, and Nigeria will become a better place. Let's do that right about now. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Okay, yeah, you can call in right now, and let's have your own take, your own opinion, your own observation as regards school or educational system in Nigeria. 0700 903 903 903. Like I said, we're streaming live. Okay, you can go to the comment section and drop your comment. Just drop your comment there on YouTube. VOP 90.3 FM. That's it. Or just type it in full. Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Okay, or maybe you want to go to do that via WhatsApp. It's okay. The number to send it to is 0700 903 9039. Once again, 0700 903 9039. All right. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this first of all. If as a teacher I am not maybe doing well, for instance, or okay, no, let me before I ask that one, let me ask this: why is it that children are, should I say difficult to, some people say difficult to train now? It's kind of clumsy, like they are kind of difficult to correct, difficult to understand. Some children are so difficult, it's so difficult for them to understand. All right. It's so difficult for you to make them understand little things easily. In your school, Lorefield, how do you ensure that you put them in proper perspective, like you train them, you help them out? Principal, please talk to us.
Okay. As a school, we employ 3 styles of learning.
3.
The basic styles of learning.
Okay.
There is the delegation, there is the direction, and then there is the discussion.
3Ds.
The 3Ds of learning. When we talk about directing, is all-encompass learning, where the teacher would teach, impact knowledge with teaching aid. He has to teach the children what to, when to, and then how to. What they need to know, how they need to know it, and when to apply this knowledge. And when it comes to discussion, the children are split into groups. The teacher can decide to give it out as an individual project. Split them in groups.
Okay.
On their own, they form groups, create questions around the subject or the topic. We come together, we analyze it, enhancing their critical thinking capacity. Every group will come up with something more like a debate. You come with your own idea, I come with my idea, we all dissect it together, then we'll come to a common compromise and we learn from it. Then the delegation aspect has to go with them. Being grouped or being left as individuals to do some researches on their own, come back to school with it, or you do a project. You go write up, go research this, come to school with it. Let's look at it together. So that way, there will be avenue for every child to learn and be upgraded. If you can't get it through the direction, you get it from the discussion, because it's your group. Your people have to come together. You must have an input in it. Your input is part of what gives the group the scorecard they get. Then when those who cannot get it spot on by expressing themselves should be able to do it project-wise.
Okay.
We've had children who have created houses and lighted them on cardboard paper with swimming pool. With swimming pool, I wish I came with the audio visuals of those. You would have seen the creative aspect of those children. And those are the things you do to help them develop as a child. Every child cannot get it spot on within the time frame for a period.
Okay.
But as a teacher, you would have to ensure within the time frame for a term, you bring every child to speed. They are on the same level, assignments here and there, assessment, on the spot assessment. If you assess them on the spot, you get to know the percentage that are following, that really understood. Then it will help you get the others to speed. You don't leave it till after class. On the spot there, you do your assessment and you get it spot on. So, but if a child is emotionally down, that one is out of class. We bring the child out of class, get to the root. Most times the children are going through a lot from home.
Hold on. Let's talk to this person. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please.
What's your name, first of all, and your location?
Okay, my name is Sunday Ekenyere.
Okay. Okay.
Please, I want to ask, how is it possible to control or nurture a child as a teacher if you don't nurture him with stroke, beating him? Because in our own time, my teachers gave me some strokes because I was so stubborn. And when I came home, I was even nurtured by giving me some hardship, by beating me and drying me in the sun, putting some even pepper on my eye.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And that made me to be what I am today. You understand? If I was not treated in that manner, I would have been so another thing altogether. In fact, I am praising my family and my father and my mother for treating me that way to make me to be what I am today.
Okay.
And if you understand, most of these children nowadays, they are not being treated like that, and they are more or less. Some of them are almost useless. You understand?
Yeah.
They don't respect their parents. They don't respect their elders. But we, where we were trained in that manner, if you see us, we are quite different from the children of these days. Why is it so?
Thank you. Thank you so very much for calling.
I appreciate that from you, sir.
Okay.
That's the way we were trained to. But conventional educational methods.
He is saying you no longer flog children.
No, not absolutely. There are some cases where you
small, something
like that. You see, if you do away totally with the rod, the children will go away.
You spoil the child.
But must you use it on them? You can use it correctionally. Yeah. From experience, when they see the rod, they tend to conform. So, do you really have to use it if they've conformed?
Hold on.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, my name is
What's your name again?
Dorothy Onyeka.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Mrs. Okoro.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Mrs. Okoro.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, dear.
Yeah. Mr. Opute, I'm saying hello to you.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I want to respond to the last caller.
Okay.
So I think the problem we are facing today is actually from the parents. Because nowadays, you see, when a teacher flogs a child in the school and he gets home and tells the parents, you see the parents walking angrily to the school the next day and start warning teachers.
I can even beat the teacher up.
You understand? Not to ever touch my child. Don't do. In front of that child, you understand? Because at home, they spared the rod. So 99% of the problem is coming from the parents, from the home, because the home have hidden the cane from the children. We have spared the rod in such a way that even when you bring the rod now, the child wants to collect that rod from the parents to flog back. So that's the problem. So I don't know how it can be brought back to teach. It's true that we teach the teachers are meant to teach. You understand? Yeah. They are also not meant to spare the rod. So the problem is that you see a parent going to the school, or when we have a PTA meeting, you see parents. They are not talking about the main thing that we came to discuss, but they are complaining about teachers flogging or beating their words. So that's the problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I commend you, Mrs. Okoro. You are doing very well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you so very much for calling. I appreciate you. 0700 903 903 903. You wanted to say something?
But like I was saying before she called in, from the Ministry of Education, only the principal has a right to use the cane. And I think sometime last month or thereabout, they sent a memo that it has to be withdrawn totally.
Oh, really?
Yes. There was a circular that it has to be withdrawn.
But why?
So I think abuse.
You will answer that question after this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. VOP.
90.3 FM. What's your name?
You see, my name is Ken from Amu Odofi.
All right.
You see why I've chosen VOP as my radio station? Because the woman you invited there is my woman. Her school, my daughter was, I think, the first child that was registered in that school, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. And I'm proud to announce her to the tops because my daughter, even last year, after graduating from a course, a public school, he came back to say, you see, I appreciate Lawrence Field, how they started her up, her English and everything. So I want to appreciate that woman and I want to encourage her to continue with the good work she's doing. Mr. Okoro, this is Bra Ken talking to you.
Thank you, Bro Ken. How are you doing?
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dumebi, that's the first child that was registered in our school, 0001. She is a graduate of English language today.
Oh, really? That's lovely. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, you were saying something, please.
Like that lady said, she's absolutely spot on. Discipline starts from home. My own question is always, must we use the rod? If a child is spot on, highly disciplined, you may never have to use the rod on the child. It's only erring children you need to use the rod on. And in school, you hardly find teachers do that these days.
But the child must err. You flog. In my time,
there must be a degree. There must be a degree. You understand? It's not every offense that is a floggable offense.
Hold on a little, please. Okay. All right. Continue.
There are some that just deserve punishment. It's those that get to the extreme that you have to flog. Now that there's a memo that you don't flog, you're handicapped.
Now, is Ministry of Education helping education in Nigeria by putting that thing in place whereby you no longer flog a child?
We need to ask them.
You know,
were they flogged when they were in school?
You will be flogged and you will go out and clear bush. No. You will do a whole lot. You pick pin, you will cry, you raise up a very heavy object. Or
my principal then, Mrs. Enoch of blessed memory, she will make you dig 6 by 6 by 6.
Yes.
6 by 6 by 6.
But these days you can't try that.
You won't.
Why?
That pit, I don't think we've completed it.
Maybe
I don't think we completed it till we graduated. You'll start, somebody else will. Once you are forgiven, another person will come and
you'll continue that.
And then 6 by 6 by 6.
Maybe you want to answer that question. Why? It's like at home now. Say, don't be them. Some people say, we have computer children now. They don't flog computer children. That their way is just different. You know, there's a way they behave. So,
well, I think that it starts from the home. We should start early enough, to make our children to be disciplined. Very, very early. Okay? And it gets to a point that if you have been flogging, the child may just become resistant. Whatever, okay, give it to me, and the child walks away, doesn't feel anything anymore. Okay? At this point, I believe the child should be exposed to counseling. Bring the child, sit the child down and talk with the child, find out the challenges the child is going through, and see how those challenges can be resolved. It make them understand the impact or the import of what they are doing. If you have a child that is a ringleader in the class that makes others do what they're not supposed to do, make the child the class captain. Give the child responsibilities that will wake him up. You know, you are the chief noisemaker.
Hold on a little, please. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, hello.
What's your name?
Yeah, first
Okay.
My contribution to the program is I did, and I like what the madam.
Can you speak up? Can you speak up?
Yeah, I said I enjoy her why she's but for early correction of the child. The responsibility relies much more on the parents. So I think my first son, I started introducing the kids as early as 8 months, 7 to 8 months. Where the long way to go is about will be 5 next month. And I'm the kind of person that by the time you don't do this, he knows his boundaries. The mom can be lenient with him and can disobey the mom because she doesn't do it the way I do mine. But child tends to listen to me more than any other person because they understand the place of correction when it comes to it. And I set my using the rod, stop it as I wanted to stop it earlier than 4, 5, but I increased it to 7. By 7, I'm going to stop the kid and use more punishment and words to correct it. By then, it's obeyed, not understanding, and we can comprehend most of this correction. So, setting the rod is not something that should be encouraged. Even if the support the parents should take it as have to introduce this system to the child on time so that the child can understand the place of the case and know the reason and purpose of correction. And alongside understanding the place of abuse also why you do it.
Okay.
So that they don't go extreme. Why out of anger you don't correct the child and seek pain from that child beyond what you're correcting it for. Because it's very difficult. It can go well at home and at the child. So it's a very nice program and I enjoy what I'm doing.
Thank you.
Thumbs up to your guest.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you, you spoke about, that caller, the other man who called, when you said the child was the first
registered.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to ask you, what is the difference? What is the unique thing about your school? If I want to ask for that, I would ask you to tell me what is in your school that you can't find somewhere else. What is it with your school that you can't get somewhere else? What is the level of training, the level of academics that you can get in your school and you can't get elsewhere? Hold on, let me ask the principal. Principal, please tell me.
Okay, for us as a school, our motto is building a total child. And if you want to build a total child, it has to be all encompassing. It goes beyond classes. It has to do with morals and spirituality. As a school, we take spirituality seriously.
Okay.
Starting from teachers. As early as 7:15, teachers gather to pray, not just for themselves, for the students, for the school, taking charge of the atmosphere. Learning is beyond going to classes. There are forces behind learning, and you need to subject them. Forces that don't want the children to learn and assimilate, you need to put them under subjection. You need to take charge. The spiritual controls the physical. If that is done, and is always done, 90% of the work is done. You find out the children give you less concern. less concern. They are very receptive to learning. Facility wise, we have 95% of what we need to have. The remaining 5% probably because of expansion, we don't have them. Constrained space wise, but all the basic amenities for a child to learn are available. You have the best of teachers. They are not just teachers, they are friends, they are fathers, they are aunts, they are uncles. You need to see the working relationship. When it's time to learn, everybody's learning. When it's time to be brothers, everybody is a brother. Students will jump on you as a teacher. Students will come and pick what you are eating. So I want to eat with you, I want to drink with you. There is that bondness. They are free to air a lot of things with you. If they have issues at home, they'll rather open up to you freely than to their parents. That's the level of closeness. And then we are taking it beyond learning to knowing. What you learn, you should know. If you know it, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when your own children bring them to you, you should be able to explain them to them. You should be able to teach them and not refer them to their private teachers or refer them to one uncle or aunt. And you know the convention, everybody always comes first in class. But my question is, if your dad came first, how come he cannot teach you these things? If your mom came first, how come she cannot? She learned, but she doesn't know. It's not that they didn't go through all this too, but they don't know it.
You know, I can imagine something right now. Like when you're talking, someone is listening, someone like, see the way that man they talk, their surface go big go. Like with this man they talk,
and it's quite affordable. Very, very affordable. I can beat my chest with very, very affordable.
After this call, you beat your chest more. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I've called earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to remind Mr. Emmanuel that he did not mention the guidance counselor they have in that school. That's another interesting thing that school has.
Oh, really?
They have a guidance counselor, yes, that guides the children aright. Yeah. Both on their studies, on the line of subject or the career, whatever they have. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I think on the aspect of you are asking on the aspect, they call me Jude. On the aspect, on the aspect of what makes the school special, you understand? Yeah. He didn't mention the guidance.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's like your school. Your school is one for all. Though. It's like you have. Is this sympathy votes now? I don't understand because
I wouldn't. Personally,
people are calling to like, hey, this one is.
Personally, as a person, if my own school of thought, my own belief, my own person, when you are doing things, you don't make noise about it. You let the news market you. I wouldn't go out saying we are doing this, we are doing that. I'd rather let the news tell people or endear them to us.
But can I suggest something?
Okay.
I would want to market your school here more. Because you know why? Advertisement is still the food that every business needs to grow. We're here for you to do stuff.
Okay.
Going on this platform, people are listening to you everywhere in the world. All right. So if you can bank on what you have now to sell yourself, man.
Definitely, we have quite a lot of selling points. She just reminded me of the school counselor. You've not been talking about counseling, but not been specific. We have a team of counselors.
I'm talking about this place now. Madam, you know what I'm talking about. This particular studio,
okay,
will sell you better.
Yeah, definitely.
See, Kenan?
You have a brother rich. If the whole world is at your footstool, then you will do that for us.
Exactly. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Studio line still open, 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Let's talk about career before we start wrapping up. We'll still take more calls. You can call in, okay? Now, do you believe you should choose a career for a child, or you allow the child to just do his or her thing?
For me,
just like some parents believe you marry for that boy. No. He cannot marry by himself. He needs to go to Imo. He needs to go to Anambra woman. I ain't go marry. What's your take?
It's a no.
Hold on, please. Hold on. Let's talk to this person. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I am fine. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Adebayo Kawade. I'm just on the road listening to the program. And I just want to talk in the area of discipline in the school.
Okay.
I'm quite advanced in age. I have graduates of University Bottom abroad.
Okay.
So I just want to share one or two experience, if you permit me. I know I'm on the air, and I'll make it very snappy.
Okay.
The way we were brought up is such that discipline were instilled in us via the use of cane, punishment, and in some cases, even our parents going to school to report us to our teacher. And then I could remember when your parents said, "I'm going to school to report you." You probably start crying from that moment. Here we are today. The generation we have is just that it's a taboo to touch. And they are bringing disgrace all over. The child you refuse to train will disgrace you outside. I was in Germany, a friend of mine, a Ghanaian who's married to a German woman, we went to a super mall, and the daughter disgraced him in the mall, all because they lack discipline.
Wow.
I've been in the airport where a child, because the mom said, "Hey, behave yourself," the next thing he called the mother. And I want to say, when we get home, and I was just looking at them. This is the import of all of this neglect. I think we should look at, yes, I do not support abuse, because when some people beat child, you find out, you want to ask yourself, what has he done to this? Correction with modesty, with minimal, and back it up with talking. There are lots of ways we can get these children to cooperate and to learn. One of such is call them when you have probably give them a spank or one or two, a cane. The guy will cry. Then you call. Do you know the reason why this is done? You don't do it next time. It may well be a sweet or a candy in your pocket. Say you have it, and he ends there. Next time, those days again. I'm sorry, I'm taking too much of time. Those days, our parents talk to us visually. When I look at my mom, I know that when we get home, I will hear. So I know how to behave. All of this didn't come in a day. If I've been neglected, I am sure I would do much more than all these two instances I've given. So Ministry of Education, if they are listening, they should review this, because these are the people that will take over. So what are they going to hand over to their own generation? Let's look beyond this current generation. What are they going? You can't give what you do not have. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much.
You, ma. We appreciate it.
We appreciate your call. Training, flogging, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will
not depart from it.
But now a whole lot of things are happening. You see, the examples she cited
We are not relenting. We command our students.
Hold on. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. My name is Victor. I'm calling from Kenya.
All right, Victor. Good to have you.
I'm enjoying your show.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Well, I want to throw my voice on. I know the angle we're looking at. We're looking at whether to spank children, right, or to just correct them. Okay. Both are needed, but the place of balancing is the most important thing. But my kind advice to parents, at least I've been a child now, I'm a parent, is try to be friends to your children. So I will give an instance why I said so.
Okay.
My dad was a disciplinarian. He disciplined us a lot. So there was an instant I had a problem in school, secondary school. I knew if I had told my dad would deal with me and maybe flog hell out of me. You know what I did? I approached a stranger that I don't know from anywhere, and I explained to him. Because that stranger that went to my school and stood as my uncle, I don't know him, but he stood as my uncle, and it was resolved. At that time, I knew that what I did was wrong. But you see, some parents sometimes don't give their children the ability to make mistakes. You know, as adults that we are right now, if somebody was there flogging us for mistakes that we are making, we will be flogged like every week. You understand? But some parents they don't give their children any means to say, okay, you are a child, come in. You are a child, you know, you are free to make mistakes. We should be open to allow people to make mistakes. Now, I would say that I want to talk more about the societal training. Outside our home training, the society itself should be open to allow people to make mistakes. In developed country, they catch you even if you rob, even if you killed somebody, they take you to the prison, they take care of you, they treat you as human being. They don't treat you as an outcast because they feel that it was a mistake. Right? Like I always say, nobody will just wake up and want to do bad. Sometimes, majority of the time, it's error. Sometimes it's ignorance. Sometimes you might not know the extent at which what you are doing, the repercussion at which it will be. So what I'm saying, we should as much as possible to give people that leverage to make mistakes. Parents should befriend their children, adults to understand that children have time to make mistakes and give them that privilege to make mistakes. And even if you flog them, let them know I understand you made a mistake, but I just have to flog you. Right? So that I think that will help us. Thank you.
Thank you so
much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. 0700 903 903 902. We have 10 minutes, all right, to wrap things up. But we have calls coming in. Let's take the calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, you are speaking with Ujima from Ikoto.
Okay.
I want to add my voice to among the suggestion that I've made. I think we're discussing whether it's their right to spank on each other and all that. My submission there is that, you know, let me just use this to illustrate my point. When we buy a goods, now one of the things, especially the material or something you have not used before, there's one thing that is called manual inside, you will see inside that product. And that manual will be a guide on how to make use of this. My point on that goes to human being and God. God made human being, and in his holy book, he said, "Say not the rod to spoil the child." So that means the child should be flogged. And the flogging of the child, he or she should know the reason why she's being flogged.
Okay.
And secondly, we parents, the problem we are having is that many parents are so much busy that they don't have time to know their children. As our children are growing, they have different kind of the behavior. There are some that need to be talked to, and they will take correction. There are some that need to be flogged. There are some that need not to be flogged or talked to, but to give maybe a punishment. Some, the punishment can be denying them some things. When we were growing up, sometimes if you mess up, because my father is a disciplinarian, sometimes if you do something, he will be counting it. One day you wake you up by 5 a.m. and remind you all these things. So, on that, if the parent, okay, now I have another illustration. A woman, this is a foreign country woman. I was watching a video of a cat on a desk. So the cat was trying to pull down a woman's eye drop. So this woman quickly picked a toy that looked like a cat, put the toy on the table, use knife, hit on that toy, put the toy inside the frying pan, put it on the fire, do as if he's turning that cat, that toy. And immediately the cat saw that thing. The cat quickly pushed that eye drop back on safety. So you notice that if you eventually pull that eye drop down, the same thing that happened to that toy will happen to you. So and quickly adjust. So some of our correction is not only on that side, but other children that is around. So if we parents will look at loving their children beyond allowing them to spoil, we should look at it that beating them doesn't mean that we hate them. If we love a child, we correct them, correction in different ways. When we try this measure, if it did not work, we try this measure. If it did not work, we try another measure. We should not only be a talking or a loving, stop it now, Junior, stop doing this. Sometimes we act force. The force will now correct them. When the softness will not correct them, it's force. And we will also be flexible and also rigid. We make them friends too, so that when they have issues, they can be bold.
Yeah, sure.
And also, when they are trying to misbehave, they will also know that my father or my mommy will not tolerate this. It will be ringing in their subconsciousness. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. A whole lot to talk about. Where is your school located?
The nursery primary school is located at 27 Oluseshi Street, Onireke. Is opposite Ojo Military Cantonment.
Oh, okay.
Badagry Expressway. While the secondary is located at 6 Sowomimbe Street.
Okay.
Agape Community is also opposite Ojo Military Cantonment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. Zero. Let me see if I can take maybe 2 more calls before we wrap things up this afternoon. All right. Yeah. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Okay, my name is Celestine. I'm calling from Satellite.
All right, welcome.
Okay, I want to contribute to the discussion on discipline. I want to suggest to both the educators and the community for us to go back to our communal ownership of an individual. This is a situation whereby you see a child misbehaving on the way. You will know that this is this person's child. He's Miss A's child. She's Mr. A's child. Will you stop doing that? Unfortunately, these days we've gone so individualistic that we don't care about what happened to the next door neighbor. We build walls, fences 9 feet high. We come out from our homes, drive straight to wherever we're going, come back, enter. We don't care what happens within the community. So there is a need for us to go back. I listened to a white man. He said, if Africans must lose everything, they must not lose their natural cultural relativity to one another, whereby you see your state person, your village person, he becomes your brother. Not cousin, not uncle. He's your brother. She's your sister. That's the way we grow up. So I suggest the curriculum developers should go back and see how to marry our educational system with some of our African cultures, so that will be better discipline. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can take just one more. But then I was asking you a question as regards career. Do you choose a career for a child, or you just allow the child? Several calls come. People want to talk to you. Seriously. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so say from Ejigo. I'm calling back.
Okay.
I guess your guests are warming my heart. I'm trying to change my sports school, and I said Ejigo, so I would want to make inquiries what their fees are like, and probably join the next session or next term rather.
That's lovely. That's lovely. You want to say something?
So, should I drop and get that information, or you communicate with me directly?
Sorry, what did you say?
I want to know, okay, he's in nursery 2. He's in nursery 2. I just placed him in the school temporarily because I want to relocate. I just kept him in that school for this term.
Okay,
okay. The school, I'm choosing yours, so I want to know what it entails and how close is it to my place. Yeah, there's school bus or something for transportation.
Where is your place, please?
Ejibo.
Ejibo is quite far. The school is located.
Okay,
opposite.
no. Let's do it this way. You know what? Just send a message. Send a WhatsApp message to us. Like text message or WhatsApp message to that same number. Okay, the WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. Okay, that's it. 0700 903 9039, and we'll respond. Okay, let's do it that way. Thank you so very much. 0700, if you still want to call, maybe one more call before we wrap things up quickly. 0700 903 903 903. Well, okay, this person is saying that there is no school for parenting. As parents, it's hit and miss. I don't know. Education, as in all things in life, evolves. Flogging is no more the answer, especially as we have difficult kids that may have gone through trauma or have no obvious learning disorders where they being difficult. Okay, I'm trying to understand what you sent, but it's fine. It's okay. Yeah, it's appendage of their frustration. All right, thank you so very much. We didn't drop your name, you didn't drop your name. Thank you all the same. Now, your pattern short, please. Is there anything you want us to hear, to know about you, about your school, something? No. Okay. Let me start from the director then.
Okay. At Laureate Field, we take every child serious. Every child is important. Every single child is very important to us. There is this one-on-one relationship. We are interested in imparting knowledge to individuals, to the children as individuals. We provide conducive learning environment, and there is this element of friendship. The environment is conducive. There is friendship, and it makes the children learn. And I also want to say that it's a school for every child. It's a school for parents that actually mean well for their children. You won't regret bringing them to us. Children that are low, children that are considered to have low IQ level and all that, by the time we have interactions with them, we have several experiences how God transformed them, under our care. So we are confident that your child will not be left out.
Hold on. I have to take this call, please. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. And how are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon to you. What's your name?
Yeah, my greeting. Apologies. My name is Mekabara. I've called once before.
Oh, Mekabara.
Yeah.
London?
Yes, London.
Okay, Mekabara. Good to have you join us again.
Yeah, pleasure. I'm just going to just drop this, if you don't mind. I'm just going to read out what I wrote down. There's no school for parenting. Yes. And as parents, it's hit and miss. And I'm saying this about the flogging. We, as the older parents, we learned from our parents. Our parents learned from our parents that we're going through the traditional ways of life. At the time, our parents were flogged to smithereens if they did anything wrong, not only by their own parents, but by the community. There's a difference. Life evolves. There's a difference in the world we live in today and the world that our kids are living in, if that makes sense. And then I just wanted to say something about the difficult kids, in parentheses. And that's why I don't really support flogging. Is some kids
you don't support flogging.
No, I don't. No, flogging.
In all situations, right?
In all situations.
Oh.
I'm really sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. In all situations. Yes. And I'll explain why. Especially in schools. I'm not saying indoors, in the house. Yeah. As I said, life evolves. Okay. Flogging no more does what it used to do before. All right. We have to accept that.
Okay.
Right, life evolved. We don't have the community we had before. We do not have the society we had before. And unfortunately, the media in general, whichever way, print, online, yeah, they are the ones showing the narrative. And the world has become such a small place that I'll say left-wing people, right-wing people, liberals are teaching the kids things that are no more our values. You understand? But most importantly, I believe that, like the difficult kids I was talking about, we don't know if those kids have gone through trauma. I heard people talk about guidance counseling. We don't know if they've got not so obvious learning disabilities, like dyslexia, which when you have dyslexia, and I'm sure that the principal, they will know this, they get frustrated because they cannot learn the way other people can learn. And then they hit out, they cause pandemonium in school. You understand? There are other ways to discipline a child than flogging.
Mr. Baron, our time is fast spent, actually.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in.
I appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say that there is this what we call community service in the school. We get the children do some manual jobs, clean the windows, sweep the classes, wash the toilet. Instead of using the cane, you get them do some things that they will not like to do. You stay back after school, or instead of your break time, you use it to sweep. Other children will be looking at you. What is it? You have community service for the whole week.
I think now I understand what Mr. Baron said. The message he sent. I think I get everything now. Thank you so much anyway. Thank you so very much. Director, Mrs. Maureen Okoro.
Yes.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again. And I know I will get to talk to you again on this platform.
Yes.
Anytime soon.
Yes.
And also, Mr. Emmanuel, I appreciate you so very much. Thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you, sirs.
Yeah.
For having us as a school.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate.
You're welcome. It's Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Check your time. It's just 5 minutes before the hour of 3 o'clock. It's time to go. Thank God it's Friday. My name is Jude. Send me my Friday gift. I'm out of here. You can follow me on all social media. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at VOP 903 FM, VOP 90.3 FM, and for me, either Facebook or Instagram, Ikami Jude, IKAMIJUDEH. I'm out of here. Have a wonderful and a blessed weekend. See you on Monday. Bye.
Interesting facts about the Igbo culture. Nigeria is arguably one of the many countries in the world with more than 100 different languages and ethnicities. Among the many cultures housed by Nigeria is the Igbo culture. The Igbos, as they're mostly called, are chiefly people from the southeastern part of Nigeria. They make up the second largest group of persons in this region, although they may be further categorized into subgroups with fascinating traditions and customs. The primary language for people in this region is Igbo with many dialects. Here are a few interesting facts about Igbo culture and its people. Number 1, great entrepreneurial drive. The Igbos are vastly known for their hustling spirit. They are great business